Hello again. Caught a little bit of Fox News and really glad that I did. Caught a little of Bret Baer. Bret Baer had 3 special guests on. Guess where those special guests were on 9/11/12? Well, if you guessed the CIA Annex in Benghazi, you would have been right. Bret Baer asked the 3 individuals if there was ever a stand-down order given. They all said not only one. One of them received 3 separate stand-down orders. One of the others received 1. They waited 30 minutes before they went into action. Those 30 minutes, Bret Baer asked, if you had them back, could you have saved anyone's lives? They hesitated for a moment and they said absolutely. If they would have not hesitated, not waited those 30 minutes, they're confident that the ambassador in Stevens, Chris Stevens, would not have been murdered, nor would his aide have been murdered. Those 30 minutes, they believe, resulted in the deaths of those individuals. Bret Baer said that the House Intelligence Committee said there was never a stand-down order given. One of the 3 looked Bret Baer right in the eyes, said, I received 2 of those stand-down orders. And he pointed to one of the 3 and he said he received 1. And we have no doubt, if we had those 30 minutes back at that time, the ambassador would be here with us today. You know, when this all came down, I made a number of videos on it, one in particular, MOV 01868. And I talked about what I believed happened. And I think it'll be proven that what I believed back then happened was actually what happened. Barack Obama wanted to win the presidential election. At the same time, he wanted to help Mohamed Morsi fulfill a promise that Mohamed Morsi had made when he became president of Egypt, thanks to Hillary Rodham Clinton and Barack Obama for fanning the flames on the Arab Spring. Mohamed Morsi had promised the Egyptian people 2 things. He said that Jerusalem will become the capital of Egypt, and he said that he will free the blind sheik. The blind sheik was responsible for the bombing of the Twin Towers. He's in a federal prison. I believe that a number of radical Muslim Brotherhood members came to the White House. At that time, special visas were required for to be able to travel because they were such radical extremist Muslims. I believe that a plan was put together, and the plan was to kidnap the ambassador and then have Obama trade the blind sheik for the safe return of the ambassador. And as I said in that video almost 2 years ago, that would have resulted in Obama being a hero with the American people for having saved the life of the ambassador and for having been a hero with the Muslims for having returned what they regarded to be a prophet, which is the blind sheik. That all would have worked perfectly fine if it wasn't for Glenn Doherty and Tyrone Woods. Their intervention resulted in the death of 60 of the extremists. And I believe because the extremists didn't expect any resistance, and they lost 60 of their followers, that's why I believe they sodomized and they murdered the ambassador and Smith. Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty died hours later when no help was given. And I had said that there was a F-16 squadron in Italy, Avion, Italy. I think it's around 450 miles away from Benghazi, Libya. And at that time I said, if those F-16s would have gone into afterburner on a low pass over the facility, it would take a while before the people would regain their senses. Nobody would die. But they certainly wouldn't continue with their attack. That never happened. The order was never given for those F-16s to intervene. General Ham had a number of men ready in Tripoli. He was told to stand down. Obama was told at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time by Leon Panetta, who was the Secretary of State, and by General Dempsey, what happened in Benghazi. Obama never asked anything of them again that evening. Dempsey and Petraeus went to the Pentagon. They didn't even bother to phone or contact the Secretary of State, Hillary Rodham Clinton. The next day, Obama was bushy-tailed and bright-eyed, jumping up and down on a stage in Las Vegas on a fundraiser. The pieces of the puzzle all fit. And I think, as I said back then, Benghazi can end this nightmare. I don't know what the Congressman Trey Gotti is doing. I don't know what kind of success he's had. But if Bret Baer has this interview that we're going to be able to see tomorrow, and if this book comes out, 13 Hours of Benghazi, I think this administration will cease to exist. It's pretty scary. It's actually terrifying. Obama's not going to let go. Will the military obey him? Will it even matter? I think bringing all those children to our borders was a what? It was to do what? What have I said in countless videos? Distract, to divert, to deceive. While the Border Patrol's running around babysitting, how many of these Islamist terrorists have entered our country? I don't know, folks. But you know what? I think we're going to find out real soon. Please, take some time. Do your own research. Look up my previous video, MOV 01868. Listen to what I said almost 2 years ago. Listen to what I'm saying right now. I said Benghazi is the key. I said that 2 years ago. I'm saying that right now. I told you what I think. Do your research, and then you tell me what you think.